Great. Well, I think we'll kick off, but welcome everyone. Once again, thank you for joining our end of year EMEA customer success webinar. It's amazing to see so many people here and after what's been a pretty interesting, challenging year, and one I'm sure we're all very excited to see the back of. We wanted to reach out and reflect on Go1's 2020 and showcase some really exciting developments and things to look forward to in 2021. So to start, I'm just going to cover off a few housekeeping items. So the first of which is that today's webinar is being recorded, and we'll email the link of the recording out to every attendee after the session. If you do want to share that internally, please do. And lastly, we'll also invite comments and questions during the webinar. It looks like a few of you have already found the chat function, but there's also a Q&A function as well. So if you've got any questions during the webinar, please feel free to drop them in there. Just to not disrupt the flow of the speakers, we're going to hopefully have some time at the end for a Q&A. That'll be moderated by myself. I'm George, Customer Success Manager, and I will pose a few of those questions should we have time to our panelists. If we don't get time at the end, or if there are questions that we haven't just got round to answering, we'll collate the questions and send out our answers and comments to everyone along with that webinar recording. So now for the fun part. So today we've got some really exciting presentations, and we're kicking off with Mitch Sabine, who's head of partner acquisition. He's dialing in from Australia, so we're very lucky to have him, and he's showcasing all things content. Then we've got a recorded video from Emma Bantford, our product marketing manager, who is presenting on platform updates. And finally, we've got James Frappel, EMEA Customer Success Director, who's going to be discussing our EMEA customer community. So Mitch, I will hand over to you, and whenever you're ready, take us away.
Thanks, George. And so George is going to be steering the slides for me. So hello, everyone. Great to see so many people on the call today. Really pleasing, like George said, after a challenging year for everyone, to see such a great turnout and so many people engaging with Go1. So my role at Go1 is I head up the partner acquisition team. So my role is to bring all of the partners that make up the Go1 subscription to our customers. So all of the ones that you love, that's all because of me and my team, and all the ones you don't like, that's because of someone else. So I wanted to just kick us off by kind of looking back at 2019 and where the Go1 Content Hub was last year compared to this year. So if you could just flick over to the next slide, George. Oh, actually, what would you like to see from the Go1 Content Hub? Actually, yes, that's right. So if you would like to post in the chat or in the Q&A, if you'd like to just make a few comments about what you'd like to see in the future in terms of content that's going to be relevant for your organization, we'd love to see that.
We've also got a quick poll that we can run, so I'm just going to share that with everyone. So I'll launch that now. So if everyone can just kind of put their answers in there, that'll be awesome.
Fantastic. Awesome. And if you could just go over to the next slide, George. The next one. Awesome. Yeah. So last year, 2019 was a pretty big year. We saw a lot of growth in the content library. We already had some fantastic brands like Sagos and Skillsoft and Thomson Reuters that made up the offering. The beginning of the year, we had just over 10,000 learning resources across 24 different topic areas. And by the time we got to the end of 2019, we had just over 65,000 learning items and 154 providers, including some of the brands you can see on the screen. And really, it was a focus on those common workplace learning topics like leadership and HR compliance and some of those really common workplace topic areas. But if we fast forward to 2020 on the next slide, George, I think we're really pleased with how far the offering has come. So it's been some really fantastic work in the space. We've now got over 80,000 learning items and 221 providers. So some fantastic value for our customers. And really, when we came into the beginning of the year, we had a set of goals that we wanted to achieve as the content team. So one, we wanted to ensure that our customers always have access to an evergreen, responsive library of content. So that became even more crucial during COVID. We worked with our partners to rapidly onboard just over 50 COVID safe courses, 200 remote working and mental health and wellbeing courses from over 12 providers in just under 8 weeks. So really proud of some of the work we were able to do there to support our customers during a really difficult time. Two, our second goal was increasing the quality of the library, and this was a really big one for us. So I think we've achieved that. We've added some really fantastic brands over the last year. Harvard Managed Mentor has signed. We'll have a bit of an update on when they'll be available. Local to the UK, we had brands like iHasco for compliance and health and safety. Thrive Learning has some great content around general kind of professional development and mental health content. It's super high quality. If you haven't checked it out, I'd really encourage you to do so. And then brands like Micro that are really local micro learning UK content, as well as CGOS, so over 15 languages and some of the most engaging multilingual content globally that you can find. The third goal was ensuring that we had widespread topic coverage across a range of industries, so relevant for any learner in any organization anywhere in the world. And you can see some of the brands there like Intuition Know-How, so just over 1,000 learning items in banking and finance, and particularly relevant for the UK. We now have some really great sales training from brands like Cultivate Advisors, and we have more from Skills Hub, a local UK provider. And then some brand new topics where we had no coverage. So we now have some 140 manufacturing courses from 180 Skills, for example. And the fourth goal that we had was to see a shift from a HR compliance product, which has traditionally been what Go1 was for our customers, to a continuing lifelong education product. So not just having those economic and convenience benefits, but also creating a really engaging learning product for you. If you just skip forward to the next slide, George, we've taken or recorded a little video, and if you could just hit play, I think it's really cool, some of the things that you can do with Go1 now. So this first brand that you see is a brand called Next Tech, which is actually live coding labs. So anyone from your organization now can learn how to code, and it's not just kind of boring video content. You can actually go into a terminal, you can write code, and you can see a website created in front of your eyes. So you can use it to upskill your dev team or anyone who's just learning to code or has an interest in learning to code. You can see we now have Blinkist content available. So I think everyone's pretty familiar with Blinkist by now, but that's really cool to see here. You can access audio books and book summaries of 150 of Blinkist bestsellers. So some really engaging content that probably isn't what you would typically see in a workplace learning environment. Then we have content from Intuition Know-How. So you can see here some really great finance and banking content. Again, it's pretty local to the UK, but there's everything from compliance to banking and finance skills. And then the one that we're really proud of, which is Harvard Managed Mentor. So you can learn from some of the world's leading subject matter experts on leadership, management, and business skills. So this is just an example of some of the video content that you'll be able to access, hopefully pretty quickly in the new year. So just moving ahead, once we get our fill of the oak backdrop, the oak wood backdrop, I wanted to just do a quick deep dive into some of the or a quick overview of some of these new brands that we have available. So these are just some of the types of courses that will be available from Harvard. So now your organization can learn the same way that brands like Walmart and UNICEF learn. So really setting the Go1 offering apart and your organization apart with world-class learning that's also affordable. So a Harvard Managed Mentor subscription costs $655 per learner per year typically. So just through your Go1 subscription, you're saving over $500 on that alone. So there'll be 42 lessons available, and you can see an example of some of the different playlists that you can create for your organization. So it's going to be available early in the new year. There will be some restrictions on the how you can access Harvard Managed Mentor. So unfortunately, it is only available for organizations that are 5,000 employees or less. We can look at making some exceptions on a case-by-case basis. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And then the next slide, George, is just a bit of an overview of edX. So edX is really interesting. And again, I think it ties into that sort of lifelong learning theme. So people from your organization can explore and upskill in topic areas that they're interested in, either professionally or personally. You can access all of edX courses as a part of your Go1 Content Hub subscription. And that comes from 32 of the world's top 50 ranked universities, and also industry partners like Google and IBM. The courses don't come with a certification as a part of the version that's available in Content Hub, but you can pay to upgrade at the end of each course. So wanted to just move on to a couple of trends that we've noticed across 2020. So we've seen a massive increase in consumption on our platform. So COVID really accelerated the digitization of learning this year. And so there was we noticed a couple of really key trends. So from January to June, really interesting to see a steady increase of health and safety, as I think people became more and more concerned with coronavirus, and it became more significant and serious. So approximately 25% of all our enrollments in March were on health and safety topics. Courses related to COVID-19 and in the workplace and COVID safe best practices became highly engaged with. We also distributed or created some playlists around COVID-19 to support organizations. And we also saw a dip in HR compliance enrollments, which was really interesting, and a 5 times increase in leadership and communication topics, as I think people began to notice how important leading remotely and working remotely and communicating with their teams became. From July to November, it sort of became finding a new normal. So the interest in health and safety began to stabilize. And then we started to see an uptick in continuing professional development topics and personal development. So we had a massive increase in IT software and health and wellbeing topics. We created a couple of playlists around IT skills and health and wellbeing in particular. And so, really starting to see that shift from HR compliance and health and safety and those sort of things to, a product which is, being engaged with for lifelong learning. And then if we just move on to some of the top performers, I think this is really interesting to see as well. Really great to see that mental health across all 3 regions and also in the UK, things like resilience and positive mindset, dealing with stress, those sort of topics were heavily featured. And I think we'd love to see in 2021 some more of those self-directed or some more self-directed learning as the top performers in 2021, kind of as we move through COVID and hopefully get back to some sense of normality. So I guess what's next for us coming up in 2021? I think we'll continue to see an investment in technology that supports the industry. So some of the work we're doing with Microsoft Teams, Workplace for Facebook and Slack. We'll continue to push towards more of a self-directed learning product with content playlists and some of the new great content and partners that we're bringing on board. And we'll start to really focus on curation and surfacing some of the best of the best for our customers. So I appreciate everyone's time, and I'll throw it back to you, George.
Thanks, Mitch. Just a question from Alan that's just come in. Is the Q1 to Q3 slides the calendar year, or is it the financial year?
Correct, yeah. So calendar year.
Thanks, mate. Thanks very much, Mitch. Awesome. So what we'll do now, guys, is move on to some product updates. So this is a video recording from our product marketing manager, Emma Bamford. And so we've just got a video that she sent through, which I'll play now.
Hi everyone, Emma Bamford here. I'm Go1's product marketing manager, and I'm excited to give you a presentation today on our product updates, the future of your Go1 experience. Today, I'll be touching on what has happened in the last 12 months within the Go1 platform, and for those who also deliver content in other systems. I'll also be touching on some of our key integrations this year, notably Microsoft. The final section of my presentation is going to be a run-through of our external product roadmap and an introduction to the kinds of problems we're looking to solve in the near, mid and long term. Let's have a look at a release retrospective of the last 12 months. Find and curate content from our most popular topics with Go1 playlists, now with the ability to select exactly which ones you want to show on your learner's dash. For those of you delivering learning in another LMS, export playlist resources in just a few clicks. Create your own playlist by adding content from Explore, so you can always deliver learning contextual to your org. Once you've found the right content, create your playlist, give it a name, and you're ready to share. Sharing your playlist across portals with ease. Just make sure you're an admin of each portal. This year saw the ability to report on total learning duration from within the enrollment report. Just add the column to your report to get started. Signing in has never been easier. Your learners can navigate directly to their learning portal by navigating to go1.com and signing in from there. Shed a light on informal learning with Go1Me. For Go1 Platform users, we're thrilled to introduce Go1Me, a browser extension that helps learners discover, complete, like and save their favourite resources from around the internet. Support social learning by discussing resources which are recorded against your Go1 user account to create smarter, more personalised content recommendations. Uncover insights on hot topics within your organisation and check out the kinds of resources your peers are engaging in. So what's to look forward to with the Go1 platform? Coming to the Go1 platform in 2021, Achievements offers a more flexible and robust experience for those allocating and tracking their training, and a simplified experience for learners. Achievements will be your new go-to solution for delivering learning pathways and continuing professional development for your team. You will be able to set and forget your learning with more dynamic enrollment capabilities. Within Achievements, you can also allocate mandatory and optional learning together, so you can offer choice to your learners. A progress bar will offer a clear indication of their progress towards completion. And most importantly, learning target types are more flexible and can be articulated by duration, points, just like awards, or percentage of total resources. Stay tuned in the new year for more information on this feature when the time comes. We've had such an exciting year with Microsoft, and most notably our integration with Microsoft Teams, which has brought the Go1 Content Hub to so many more users in apps that they recognize. Today, I'll also be sharing a video about Microsoft Search, which enables content built either by yourselves in the Go1 platform or anything from the Go1 Content Hub to be found and consumed within the likes of SharePoint, Office.com, and more. Let's take a look. Support learning in the flow of work with the Go1 Learning app from Microsoft Teams. The app delivers an incredible learning experience, enabling you and other members of your organization to find, consume, share, and discuss resources from the Go1 Content Hub right within Teams. After a simple setup, create a learning tab against any channel within Teams, which works as a flexible template to which you can add components with the ability to reorder sections so it makes sense to your learners and builds on prior knowledge. Group content into modules for simpler consumption. When you're ready to add resources, search for Go1 content through Explore. When resources are played, they offer a seamless and recognizable experience to your learners. This integration supports social learning by fostering discussion on resources within the Learning and Posts tab. Learners also have the ability to pin relevant resources from chat. It's not only the Go1 Content Hub that's available within Teams. You can deliver your own created content from the Go1 platform into Teams, even SCORM files created with authoring tools, so you can always deliver learning that's relevant to your organisation. Most importantly, all enrolments and completions are tracked back centrally to the Go1 platform, so no matter where your learners engage with their courses, you know who's done what. If you don't use the Go1 platform to report, this capability is also available if you use SAP SuccessFactors or Canvas LMS to deliver and track your learning centrally. As for what's on the horizon, Go1 is very excited to announce improvements to our Microsoft Teams app, which will allow you to share resources from the Go1 Content Hub within Teams meetings, enriching the learning experience and creating engaging ways to learn together remotely. Meeting organisers can set the training agenda ahead of time, which is available to view during the meetings by clicking on the Go1 app. During the meeting, an organiser can share training so everyone participating can learn together, even the meeting organiser. Once the meeting's finished, the organiser can access a report via the details page to show engagement of all learning. Now let's learn about Microsoft Search.
Go1 is excited to announce its integration with Microsoft Search. Go1 is a leading learning technology company delivering learning to employees wherever they are. Organizations use Go1 to collect content they've built internally in e-learning formats like SCORM, and content from the Go1 Content Hub, the world's largest content library, containing hundreds of online learning providers that cover every topic imaginable. Go1 helps organizations deliver all this content into the systems their employees use, including the Microsoft product suite as well as other learning platforms. We make it easy to get the learning content your organization needs to the places your learners are. Go1's extensive offering of online learning resources serves organizations across industries and around the globe. Now, in partnership with Microsoft, this amazing content library is available on the Microsoft Graph via Microsoft's Graph Connector framework. This means that end organizations are able to use Microsoft Search to find Go1 learning resources from places like Office.com, SharePoint, and Bing. Let's see how this works. The Go1 connection to Microsoft Search enables employees within your organization to see learning content from Go1 in Microsoft Search results. That means that relevant Go1 learning content will appear alongside other content in your organization, like Office 365 files. From Microsoft Search, employees can view content to learn new skills without switching applications or signing in. Microsoft Search is available to your employees throughout the Microsoft product suite, enabling employee upskilling to happen in their normal day-to-day routine. As an organization, you'll be able to see popular topics that your employees are learning about, allowing you to further tailor the upskilling content you deliver to employees. With these new capabilities, it's easier than ever for employees to learn from Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Search. Together, Go1 and Microsoft are redefining the ability to learn in the flow of work.
We've looked back over the last 12 months, so let's look forward. Of course, with regard to playlists, we're looking to save time with enhanced curation capability. Other outcomes for admins and managers that we're focusing on is the simplification of assignation and tracking of resources. Further on, for our admins and managers, we're also looking enriching the reporting and insights about consumption that learners are taking from within the system. More long-term, we're always looking to enrich the information surrounding our courses within the Go1 Content Hub. We are articulating information such as regional relevance, learning outcomes, skills gained, and levels such as beginning, intermediate, and advanced. If we have a look at some of those outcomes for learners, more short-term, we're looking at focusing on learning in the flow of work, which ties back to our integrations, particularly with Microsoft. We're looking at AI-driven recommendations for intelligent personalization, so only the most relevant courses are appearing to our learners. We're looking at accessing insights for that optimized learner experience as well, which ties directly into the section above for admins and managers. And again, we're always doing that deeper context around our courses for learners too. This resource is available to you and is updated on a regular basis as things adjust. If you'd like a copy of this resource, it will be available within this pack to you after the webinar, but reach out to your CSM if you'd like to discuss anything contained here. Thank you for coming to this webinar and listening to this presentation, and just generally being involved with what we're doing here at Go1. If you'd like to keep on top of product updates, you can find them at go1.com/blogs under product updates. There are, of course, the monthly customer newsletters as well, which links you to that resource. From a support perspective, with regards to the product, there are help articles available at help.go1.com, and there's, of course, our friendly 24/7 global support team and your very own customer success manager. Thank you so much for your time today, and enjoy the rest of the presentations.
Just one quick poll before we just move on to James's section. So this is just around the product and platform functionality with interacting with Go1 support. So I'm just going to open up this poll and just get some feedback from you guys around how you're using support and kind of for what reasons. So if you can just have a quick go at that poll, that would be awesome. Great, those answers are flooding in, up to 50%. Amazing. Cool. Thank you very much, guys. I will end that now, and I will pass over to James.
Awesome. Thank you, George. And thanks everyone for joining today's call. It's great to see so many of you on the call. I'm going to run through this very quickly just so we can keep as close to time as possible. But I'm just going to run through sort of team updates that we've made this year within the customer success team, touch briefly on the role of the customer success manager and how you can work closely with your CSM to realize the full potential of the Go1 offering. And then I'm just going to talk very briefly about some of the things that we've been doing to foster and harness a Go1 customer community in the UK. Cool. So just looking, reflecting back on the year, at the beginning of 2020, there was one CSM for Go1 in UK, and that was myself. And over the course of the year, we've added headcount, as you can see, and we've grown the team substantially. And really that's so that we are always on hand to be supporting you, our customer base, in getting the maximum value out of the Go1 partnership. So George joined the team in March and has been doing a fantastic job with many of you on the call. We also welcome Danny, who joined over the summer, and we've got our newest team member, Craig, who's joining us next week. Craig has a wealth of experience in the L&D space. He was head of L&D at an organization called Zonal, where he worked for 16 years. He's a fellow of the LPI and was Learning Professional Finalist of the Year in 2018. So we're really excited to bring Craig into the team. And I'm sure he'll be incredibly useful to you on the call on how you can get the most out of your Go1 offering. Perfect. So that's our sort of amazing team that we've assembled. But when it comes to working with your customer success manager, we're sort of here to support you every step of the way. And really our role as CSMs is to make sure that we're enabling you to achieve your L&D objectives and desired outcomes through the Go1 offering. So first and foremost, your CSM is here to be your strategic partner. And really you should think of the sort of your customer success manager as an extension of your team. We want to work closely with you and align on your L&D objectives and make sure that we're sort of always on hand to support in achieving those. We're also here as content experts. So we understand that the content library can at times be overwhelming, but our customer success team really know our content library inside out, and you can always come to us if you need recommendations or if you're curating content from the library or running sort of new programs. So we're always here to help. We're also product specialists and can support when it comes to sort of features like our course authoring tool, the best way of assigning content out to your teams, and even our reporting functionality. So how you can sort of set up reporting dashboards inside of your portal. We're also here to help drive engagement and adoption, whether that's sort of ideas that we've sent out, including our Blinkist book club, timely content reminders around engagement weeks, or even if you need support in training managers inside your organization, we're on hand to do that. We're also here to be your escalation point for any support tickets when needed. And of course, for any account processing, just reach out to your CSM. Alongside your CSM, you also have our Go1 support team, who are a different team to our CSMs, but also a great resource for you all. So whether that's in platform support via our 24/7 chat functionality or by our ticketing desk, they're there to help. And they're here to help if you have any sort of access issues or password resets. These can be sent straight through to the ticketing desk. We also have a great resource of help desk articles, so you guys can troubleshoot. Perfect. So I'm just going to wrap up now by just talking about some of the initiatives we've set up to sort of foster and develop a customer community at Go1. So the first thing that we are launching are sort of customer stories, and we have some of them live on our website, go1.com, that you can just access via the resources tab. So here we're sharing some great stories from customers across the UK that are getting some excellent results from their Go1 partnership. We really want to do this to share best practice and help everyone in the community sort of achieve their goals with Go1. So head over to go1.com and you can see what the likes of Oliver Agency or City Fibre have been doing with their Go1 offering. The other thing that we've been launching and that we have upcoming are customer webinars. So we're hosting webinars with our customers and other industry experts where we're discussing things like learning strategy. We have an upcoming webinar on Thursday, the 10th of December that we would love for you all to join. On that webinar, industry expert Simon Gibson will be joined by Go1's Ollie Browning and Lucy Corman from City Fibre. And they're going to be discussing high-performing L&D teams, how companies can maximize learning budgets. City Fibre are going to talk about how they've used Go1 in their learning journey, and also sort of the pressure HR and L&D leaders face with sort of current learning and training strategy during the sort of COVID pandemic. And the final thing we're going to be launching in 2021 is a Go1 podcast. So this is going to bring together industry experts, customer stories, insights from across the L&D world in a podcast format for you guys to help. We would love to host as many customers on this podcast as possible, and would also love to share the success stories within the community. So I'd really encourage you to reach out to your CSM if you're interested in either joining us on a webinar, speaking on a podcast, or would like a write-up for our sort of Go1 customer blog, so we can really promote the great work that your organizations are doing with Go1. Awesome. That's everything from me. But yeah, thanks again for joining. And back to you, George.
Amazing. Thank you very much, James. One last poll for everyone. I appreciate we are a little bit over time, but awesome to see so many people still on the call. So many thanks for that. But I'm just going to open up this last poll around things that you might like to see from Go1 moving into hopefully a better year for everyone. That will be 2021. Amazing. Up to 50% already. 80%. Wow. Could we hit 100? Cool. All right, guys. Amazing. I will end that now. Thank you all very much for your feedback on all of those polls, and for, as I say, staying on the call. I hope that you found it really valuable. There's one question that's come up, Mitch, in the chat, which you might be able to answer. Hope it's not passing him a hospital pass. D from Mando would like to know if there's any chance of a partnership with Pluralsight.
We are talking to Pluralsight. I can't make any promises. At this stage, if we do form a partnership, it's probably not likely for some time. It's not always possible to get all of the world's largest content providers into the Content Hub, but we do try our best. So I'll be sure to keep passing along updates to James and to George.
Amazing, thanks, Mitch. And Rayanne, I see you've asked the question around the Go1 mobile app. Let's follow up with, or James and myself will follow up with our product team and just touch base on where we're at with that. Cool. Dee says, thanks very much, Mitch. And I think that brings us to the end of the webinar. So hopefully you're all ready to explore a little bit more of Go1's content moving into 2021. It's been awesome working with everyone on the call so far. I'm really, really excited to kind of carry on building on that into 2021. So look forward to speaking soon. And once again, thanks all for joining.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Take care.
Have an awesome day.